guys, welcome to another weekly reading vlog with me. It's actually Tuesday and not Monday. I kind of took the day off to bum around yesterday. We also had my Empire of Gold discussion on Patreon last night, and so that kind of took up my brain cells yesterday. But we're here and we are sitting in my planning block before school starts. We're in the last week of January. It's crunch time. I don't know that I picked the wisest book to be reading during crunch time, but I'm going to show you what it is anyway. I am starting my Robin Hobb journey. I'm reading Assassin's Apprentice this week, and I'm not very far in at all. I am on page 28 right now, which is in the middle of chapter 2. Epic fantasy, long chapters. I need all of my brain cells to digest this writing, but the writing is gorgeous. So this is gonna be a quick update just because beginning of the school day, and I do need to get ready for my classes after I film this clip. What I know about this is we have this very long, I think it's 16 book series that's broken up into different trilogies and quartets. And we start with the Farseer trilogy, which is Assassin's Apprentice. And all of these books follow the main character of Fitz. And it seems that we are hearing his story being told to us. He's probably much older as he's telling it. And he is going all the way back to the earliest that he can remember, when he is 6 years old. So we are starting early in this kiddo's life. He is the bastard son of the prince chivalry. All of the royalty has these like attribute names, which I think is part of their culture. But anyway, he is the bastard son of this prince. And right now everybody is just kind of like, what do we do with him? Because the people that he was living with just kind of showed him up and dumped him on the royalty. And nobody really knows what to do with him. So he has been sleeping in the stable with the hounds and the hawks and making friends with this dog named Nosy. And they just traveled from one location to another location. But he is giving us like a play-by-play of what his life was like, what it was like to go in the kitchens, what it's like to be around all of these big, brawny soldiers. And not much is happening plot-wise, which I think is to be expected in this series. I think it's much more of a character study, but I have been wanting to pick this up for quite a long time, and I'm excited to take you along with me this week. Other things that are happening this week, pushing my classes up. That's one of them. I am finally gonna go see Wicked tomorrow. I haven't seen it yet, and y'all know I am a theater person, but I have never seen Wicked on stage either. I know all of the music. I've sung some of the music before in voice lessons, but I've never seen the show or the movie. So I'm going with some friends tomorrow, most of whom have already seen it, but Brent and I have not seen it yet. So that should be enjoyable. But other than that, it's just gonna be a lot of reading. I've got reading sprints on Thursday, and I really don't think I'll pick up anything other than this book this week, just because it is dense. This is by far the shortest, I think, of any of the Robin Hobb books, but words are packed on a page, and it just takes all of your brain cells to comprehend what she's trying to tell you, in the best way though, not in a boring way. So I don't know, I'm really excited to be in some epic fantasy. I just finished Onyx Storm, so I feel like I can't read a romantasy right now, so maybe some epic fantasy is what my brain needs. I'm not stopping to play today, but I just wanted to come check it out, and our park's pickleball courts are open. I think I'm gonna try and come after school one day this week and just practice my serve. I'm so excited. Home from work, I just folded a crap ton of laundry and put that away. Literally my least favorite thing. I filmed my TBR that's going to go up on Thursday. I'm about to go get dinner and then sit down and edit that, and then hopefully I'll get some reading time in tonight. I did find the audio for Assassin's Apprentice on Everand, and it's a very classic audiobook narrator, and he sounds like he's from a movie. He sounds like one of the characters from the original 101 Dalmatians, which can't be true. He sounds just like, I cannot remember main guy's name. The main guy in 101 Dalmatians. And honestly, immersive reading this book is making it go by faster because I am enjoying it. However, there's so many teeny tiny details that listening to it at the same time is just keeping me focused and in the game, and that's what we need. Quick little evening update. It is Wednesday. This week is so confusing because I started vlogging late, but the week feels like it should be way later than it is. Let me tell you, being a middle school teacher in the spring is not for the faint of heart. But despite a crazy day at work, I'm about to have a really good evening that I'm probably going to regret in the morning, but that's okay. I am getting ready to go meet my friend Brent at the new pickleball courts, which I'm so excited that I finally have some pickleball courts that are less than 10 minutes away from me. I am still working on my serve, and I feel like I have to get more confident at that and get more consistent with that before I can just go to an open play. So he's gonna come help me with that. And I'm planning on going tomorrow and working by myself, but we're gonna go do that for a little while. And then we have some friends that we're gonna meet up with, and we're gonna go see Wicked. I haven't seen it yet. I'm probably gonna get some popcorn or something at the movies, but before we play pickleball, I needed a little snack. So I've got a little Baby Bell cheese, and then my favorite fruit, like my favorite fruit hands down, is a sumo citrus. And this is the time of year where they're in season. They're the weird looking ones that have like the little cap. They are the sweetest, most juicy, delicious oranges. And then I've got my water. It's got like a berry pomegranate flavor in it. It's not read a thing today. I got through chapter 3 of Assassin's Apprentice last night, and I still like pretty much have the same thoughts. There was something really emotional that happened. I don't even want to say what chapter it's in because I don't want people to like be anticipating something if they go read it after me. But man, this little kid, and you really, the crazy thing about this is you get such an in-depth look at how one child can affect the scope of politics, can affect the scope of a monarchy. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the like personal little details of Fitz's life as well as the big picture of what this means for the kingdom. But I need to eat this so that I can go to the gas station and get gas and then meet Brent. It's 11 p.m. I just pulled up from seeing Wicked, and I cried my eyes out for like an hour. The ballroom, I couldn't take it. Just like squeezed all the tears that lived in my heart out, and then I couldn't stop crying for the rest of the movie. I'm at the Mexican restaurant, which is dangerous in and of itself because it is the end of a crazy week. And even more dangerous than that is Barnes & Noble. It's right around the corner. So me and my teacher friends are probably going to go over there afterwards. And then I'm going to go home and read a ton more Assassin's Apprentice. I read quite a bit last night. I got to 31%. And I know this is the shortest out of the entire series, so I have a lot coming my way, but I'm enjoying it. I'll talk more about it later, but I just wanted you to know that poor choices are probably about to be made. So far, my yogurt bowls have been pretty basic. I have been using this vanilla 000. It's high protein Greek yogurt. I have 2 different kinds of granola. I am using French vanilla almond today, some blueberries, half of a banana, and some honey. And I just mix that all together in a bowl and make it look pretty. And I have really, really, really been enjoying this. I'm so excited about both of these things. In my room, about to jump back into Assassin's Apprentice, but I did want to show you some of the books that I have picked up recently. The first one was actually part of my Christmas gift from my sister-in-law, but it came in later, and that's A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross. Y'all know I loved Forever Enchanted. I loved it so much. It was my favorite book of 2024, so I'm reading this in February, and I'm so very thankful to her for getting this book for me. And then last night at Barnes & Noble, first of all, please look at the sprayed edges on every single one of the books I got. Like, come on. So obviously you could tell from the sprayed edges, I picked up my physical copy of Onyx Storm. And when I tell you I lucked out, there were probably like 25 or like normal copies of Onyx Storm. And I had looked on the website to see if they had any more deluxe editions. And I had just kind of succumbed to the fact that I would not be getting the deluxe edition because they seem to be out everywhere. And we walked in and my coworker was like, oh my gosh, there's one left. So that one belongs to me. It doesn't seem like the book is warped at all. It looks to be in perfect condition. So this is my trophy because I read it on Kindle, and now I have the physical edition for whenever I do a reread, probably before the 4th book comes out. Okay, this is an author I have read one book from. It was her first ever published book. It was a standalone. I did not like it, but she has released so many books since then. She does like masterful work, or her publishers do masterful work with her covers, and that is part of the reason I bought it. But also I hear really, really good things about this author now. My coworker is on her ARC team. I follow a lot of people on TikTok that are really enjoying her books, and that is Catherine Cowles. So I picked up the first book in the, what is this called? The Sparrow Falls series, and these are romantic suspense, but the covers, y'all, come on, they're foiled. They've got just like the most beautiful artwork. All of the covers are sprayed. read. The back is beautiful. And the chapter headings in this book are like this house. So I'm very intrigued. I don't know if I'll get to this in February. I would really like to, since it's, you know, it's a romance of sorts. So we'll see if I can fit it into my TBR, but I'm also really excited about the last book I got. So who knows? I don't even know, guys. I don't even know. But it was just like a very, very, very lucky day at Barnes & Noble, because I also got the only deluxe edition of Heavenly Bodies that they had. Look how gorgeous. Dark purple sprayed edges, artwork, like, and me and Romantasy have a love-hate relationship because I do feel a lot of the books are very cookie cutter, but I have been excited about this book for a long time. It used to be in my KU library until they took it off of KU so that it could get traditionally published. So because I've had my eye on it for so long, I'm just really excited, and I would really like to fit this one in. The font is also not tiny. So even though it's, how long is this book? It's not even 500 pages. I feel like I could read this one pretty quickly. So we'll see. Have you read Heavenly Bodies? I really am curious about it. That being said, I have fed myself. I have caffeine here. I'm gonna turn my fan on because that's the only way I can function. I'm going to pop these on and have a little immersive reading experience for a few hours. And then I'm gonna go pickleball it up. Good morning, everybody. I am wrapping up this vlog today. First of all, we don't know her. This is the way my hair grows on this side. It just goes, merp. But it's athletic day at school, so I'm just in like a sweatshirt and some joggers and stuff. So I'm not like super dressed up for work today. But I wanted to talk to you guys about Assassin's Apprentice because I did finish it last night. I stayed up way too late to finish it. I got so invested. I read 40% of this book yesterday, which, like, I can read a lot at one time, but I also had a friend over for most of the day yesterday. I had a Patreon event where we were watching the Game of Thrones season 1 finale yesterday, and somehow I still managed to finish this book. So this is my first 5-star of the year. I am so happy, shocked, thrilled, which is kind of like the emotions I felt going through this book. So I've given like updates here and there, but here are my final brain dumpy thoughts. This was incredible. This was immaculate. And I cannot wait to see what else is done in this world, in this series, because if book 1, the very intro, when we are just meeting this character, is set up this way, it can only go up from here. So I'm like, if this was 5 stars, what do I have to expect in the future? So following Fitz, he's a boy. I've talked about all of this. He has a really cool magic where he is like, he can connect and bond with dogs. I don't know if it happens with other animals, but it definitely happens with dogs in this book. That is a magic called the wit, and I think it's kind of like taboo. So we're introduced to Fitz. He has so many different mentors in so many areas of his life, and I think that's a really important point to be brought up. He has the stable master who is a mentor. He has his assassin mentor. He has his uncles who are the, you know, other royal princes who are set to inherit the kingdom that he looks up to. There is another kind of magic called the skill, and so he has his tutor in that. And the way that all of these men influence Fitz throughout the book, you really start to see the way that other people shape you into the person that you are. And so I loved all of it. There were moments in here that made me cry. There was a moment that made me slam the book down on my bed. It made me so like angry and shocked and sad. There are so many heartbreaking moments, and I know that that is something that is like going to be even more prevalent in future installments, but this was just so good and so expertly crafted. Things that you're introduced to at the beginning that you're like, oh, that was just a silly detail, becomes so important later. The world is fleshed out. The world feels like a real place despite being a fantasy. It's adventurous. There's humor. And I don't know how else to talk about it without spoiling anything. Like, I might have already said too much. I don't know. But book 2 was not on my radar for February, but do you want to know what I did this morning? I went to Amazon and I clicked order. So it's coming in the mail today. Guys, if you haven't given Robin Hobb a chance because you've heard that it's slow paced, please at least try, because this kind of like changed my outlook on fantasy right now. I haven't been reading that much epic high fantasy, and now it's all I want because of this book. I also really enjoyed the audiobook. I've heard that throughout the like entire realm of the elderlings that the audiobooks aren't always the best, but I really liked the narrator for Fitz. Anyway, I could keep gushing. Stay tuned for when I read book 2, which will probably be sooner rather than later. And if you watched all the way to the end of this vlog, why don't you leave me a little deer or a stag emoji just to say, hey, I stuck with you through the end, girl. As always, the link to my Patreon and the links to all of my social media can be found below, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye, guys.